episode 030 with Niramsin Yakou. Hello, and this episode was brought to you by SG Home Loans. SG Home Loans will help you find the best home loan that suits your needs, whether you're a first home buyer, an investor, or refinancing. At SG Home Loans, we will help you save your time, energy, and money with our expertise and service to secure the loan and home you want. sghomeloans.com.au. Let's make it happen. It's 2019 and Happy New Year. I'm so pleased that you're here and so very grateful that you have come to listen to another episode of the One Voice Can Change the World podcast. I've got some incredible guests lined up for you, and this next guest is someone who has been around the Sydney entertainment industry for a while now, and he's just an amazing energy to be around. He's formerly known as Ramos Jacob, but now he's gone by his original name, his birth name, which is so beautiful. It's Niramsin Yakou. So he's a singer-songwriter. He's also a set designer, producer, and he's been present in the Australian independent music scene for over 5 years. Niramsin's body of work focuses on humanitarian awareness and cultural inclusion through the art of his music and visuals. In 2016, Niramsin received the Young Australian Assyrian of the Year award for his activism through his music. He released Conquer All on the eve of the Assyrian New Year, which hit the #1 spot on the iTunes Art of the Mix dance charts in Australia. He's incredible. You won't want to miss this interview. What we chat about is how he collaborates with people. He is the king of collaboration. He just creates these projects and people just want to jump on board and be part of his amazing concepts and amazing humanitarian vision. So without further ado, please welcome Niramsin. Welcome to One Voice Can Change the World podcast. I'm your host, Tina Bangel, vocal coach and professional vocalist. In each episode, we bring you an inspiring person doing wonders in the music industry today. We hope to give you motivating messages to help you navigate towards your musical dreams. I'm so grateful you're here, and now let's give you something to sing about.
Ooh, thanks for having me, Tina. It's been a while, but I'm glad that we've reconnected, and I'm glad I'm doing this as well. So thank you very much for having me.
I'm so excited about what you've been up to and to chat to you and learn about what your plans are for the future. But let everybody know who you are and how you got started with singing and performing.
Sure. Okay. So my people know me as Ramos Jacob, but lately I've done a rebrand, and I've gone back to my roots and my original name. So my name is actually Niramsin, but people do know me as Ramos. I began music with a nice trip to Brazil, where I was really just confronted with the culture and the live music and the the instruments and classic Brazilian jazz, and I just fell in love with music when I was there. I moved to Brazil in my early 20s, so when I was just like immense with all this amazing music, amazing sounds, I was really inspired. And when I came back to Australia, I made a pact for myself to begin, I guess, chasing my dreams with music and singing and producing. So that's how it all started.
I can see where the influence was when you came back to Australia and you made that film clip with a few of your friends, right? It kind of gave me that Brazilian feel of, you kind of have that touch in your film clips.
Definitely. I mean, culture's always played a massive part in my music career. So when I first started releasing music videos, there was a music video in which Genesis the beatboxer featured on. It was called Funky Lady, and it was all about that. It was all about bringing cultures together, bringing different acts together, and just showcasing different people's talents, but also just really having that sense of community. within, I guess, a body of work within just a project. So that's really influenced my music as well, just making sure that I incorporate culture, incorporate people, and incorporate community in my projects.
Yeah, and we see that a lot, and you're very good at collaborating with other people, and that's something that we can dive into a little bit later on. But one of the things that I admire about you is that the way that you bring a community together and your kindness. I think it's your kindness and your passion, and it really shows in your work. Have you always been that way since you were young, or was that something that you developed over the years?
I mean, growing up, I grew up in the southwest suburbs of Sydney, so we have so many cultures. We had so many cultures around us, so many people from different walks of life and different ethnicities. And the funny thing is, I ended up learning how to speak a lot of languages as well. I had like. My Filipino titas and titos, kamusta ka? Every time I'd see them, kamusta ka, tita, mabuti, or I'd have my, my Greek neighbors or my Italian neighbors, ciao, come stai? Sto molto bene, grazie. I was just so lucky that I was brought up in a neighborhood where there were so many different cultures and diverse people, and it was just amazing to give and take, I guess. So I'd go over their house and have their food. They'd come over our house and have our traditional food. So I think my upbringing had an important part to play in all of this, because I would say, blessed. I was very blessed to have an upbringing where I could go and exchange cultures, music, food. Who doesn't love food? I mean, that's the one thing that brings everyone together.
I know, that's the best. That's the best.
Yeah.
And
I guess that's where it all came from.
Yeah, and it's really great that you learn all these different languages and just kind of like know a few of the words. But I remember seeing one of your posts on Facebook, and it kind of went viral. You were talking in different languages. So.
Yeah. Well, there was two. There was one where I had like how many accents challenge, and I spoke in so many different accents and spoken so many different languages as well.
Yeah.
And another reason, like my family traveled around the world as well. They moved from, northern Iraq. They migrated from northern Iraq to France. So, j'ai appris le français. Je sais le français. My sister was born there. My parents were married in France, and then they moved over here in Australia, and I was born here. So.
Wow. Very international upbringing.
That's it. It. Loved it.
Actually, we'll put a link to those videos. So we'll have to, you'll have to send me those links from Facebook, because people will probably want to check that out and how well you do the accents.
And also, I love my Asian community, so I'm really close to the Vietnamese community. So for one of those videos, it went viral because a massive shout out to the Subtle Asian Traits group page. They shared it, and it was just, I had like really good feedback from it. It was a prank that I played, but I spoke a bit of Vietnamese, and they're just like, oh my God, he speaks so well. And I thought I'd do a Happy New Year as well to all my Vietnamese people out there, and I did that as well, and it was well received. So I guess come in, and chúc mừng năm mới to all my Viet friends.
So good.
Yeah. So, but I love it.
It's really cool, and you do it in a nice way. So your passion has led you to amazing and fun collaborations. I think it's because of your personality. People love to work with you and are excited to, say yes to any of your collaborations. But how important?
Do you think people think I'm crazy or something like that?
I think you're great. And I remember first meeting you for, when we did that Red Kite.
Yes. How could I forget?
Yeah, that Red Kite concert. So the people that aren't listening, that have just joined us, that collaboration was with a student of mine called Abigail Mantanong, and we raised funds for her, for the Red Kite Association that help families and people that are touched by cancer and helping the families go through that. So that's the first time that I met you. And when I first met you, it was like you just are a breath of fresh air and you just got so much wonderful energy. Can you tell us like a few tips, maybe 5 tips that you can give performers about collaborating? What are your secrets?
Absolutely. I mean, with collaborating, I guess when you pitch a project to someone you want to work with, you really have to make sure that when you pitch it, it really relates to them as well. There's something about the project that makes them want to be on that project, whether it's a tribute, whether it's a genre, whether it's a message. You might have a message behind the project that might appeal to that person that you're dealing with. And also that's the first thing. I think another integral part of collaborating with people is really get to know the person you want to collaborate with. Don't just say, I want to collaborate with you because you've got a name, because you've got followers, because of this, because of that. No, actually get to know that person. Get to know the network that you're collaborating with. It's not just a person. It could be a network, whether it's a dance school. If you want to affiliate yourself with an organization, really grow fond of that organization, of that person, and make them also know and believe that you're genuine about this collaboration, this approach to collaborate with someone. So one thing about you, Tanina, I love coming to your concerts. I love what you do with the kids, and I'm genuine about that. Like, I do follow you. I do like your music as well. Like, you sing about, changing the world through kids, singing and showing their passion, and it's all about one voice and coming together as well. So I take the time to follow people who I respect as well, and just be genuine about it. So that's the second thing. The third thing is make it fun. It's not always about being serious. Sometimes people do want to laugh. Sometimes people do want to act crazy,
Yes.
and just be themselves. So with most of my projects, obviously when it's time to work, we work, but then also there's time to be yourself, goof around, and have a good time, and that's what makes it so chilled, so relaxed, so fun to be on set with my crew, because everyone just gets the vibe. When we need to work, but then, and also explain that to the people you collaborate with. Just say it's not going to just be work. That's 4 points. And the 5th point, I guess, be organized. When you go to that affiliate or person you want to collaborate with, make sure that everything you say and everything that you propose to them is well structured, is organized in a way where they look at it and they go, well, this is pretty professional. I wouldn't mind working with you. So they're my 5 tips.
Yeah.
5 tips working with Ramos.
They're great tips, very good tips. And I love the second one where you said, get to know the people and their work. Because when I was first starting out, I would just jump on board and just, try to collaborate with somebody that is already higher than me, and have got a name for themselves, when, it's all about making that genuine connection, and not
100%. And people will feel, it's nice to make people feel like they're cared about. You know what I mean? It's nice to make people feel like, you know what, I genuinely care about you and I genuinely follow you and am a supporter. So it's nice to do that to people.
Yeah, absolutely. They're excellent tips. I actually, because you've done a film clip with lots of different cultures. And I think I can't remember exactly which song it was.
Humanity?
And then with the VIP dancers, the Filipino dance group.
Yeah, that's Humanity. Yeah.
Yes. And that was a great collaboration there. Now, how did you go about asking them, and did you know them already, all the different people that you asked? Yeah.
So going back to my to some of my points. So the way I applied these points is the song is called Humanity, right?
Yeah.
So I guess this day and age, there's a need for there's a need for people to embrace each other and understand each other's understand diverse cultures and come together and appreciate the fact that we have diversity in the world. So my whole aim for this was to say, okay, I want you to be a part of this group or this family, because it's not just a song or my song that I want to produce and to the world. I actually want to send out a message. And it's like a movement. It's become, to be honest with you, I feel like it's become a movement because it's progressed. So how I spoke to the VIP dancers as well as all the other dancers, so there was Capoeira Tapazio, there was Sahai from the Ethiopian community.
Wow.
I made sure that I told them, this is the whole concept, this is the whole message behind the project. Would you love to be a part of this message? Would you love to embrace diversity, humanity, and then again, I made sure that I told them who was involved with the production. So it wasn't like we're just going to get together, shoot a video clip randomly, and that's it. No, it was a proper production with a proper message that needs to be conveyed in the world. So I don't want to say I sold it to them, because it wasn't that for me. I know they call it show business, but for me, it's not about business. For me, it's people before. It's people before business. So I made sure that I informed them what the project was about, the message, and they said, why not? And since then, we've all actually really stayed together as a family, and it goes to show that my initial intentions were genuine, because we've grown, we've continued the legacy of humanity, of just coming together and embracing culture and embracing each other.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
great.
It's transpired in all the other projects that I've worked on. One recently for Janet Jackson, the Made for Now. You can see the elements are consistent throughout the project. So it means that the message is strong, and it's, like I said, it's becoming like a movement.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I hope that's how people are taking it. I mean, that's how I'm taking it, so I hope that's how people are taking it.
Yeah, well, you're passionate about it, and you can see it through your work and the way that you are, really just kind to people and just bringing them on board, and, the way that they're sharing it as well. That makes a huge, you can...
It's amazing, It's amazing the support. When people just give a project that type of support, it means the world, know, and it goes to show that the initial intentions were genuine. We really want to make a difference in the world.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's so good. One of the things that come to mind is that, you have to put a lot of your energy, but also a lot of funds to create these opportunities. How do you go about doing that? Is that through, because you've got your full-time job, or do you find other ways to be resourceful?
Pretty much, yes. From my full-time job, I'm, again, blessed and very grateful that I have a job as a set designer, that I can fund my projects.
Right.
But in saying that as well, and I guess let's add the sixth tip to working with Ramos. You need to go out there and put yourself out there as well and help people. Yeah. You need to not just network with people and say, hey, come on board. What can I do for you? How can I work with you? How can I come onto your projects and be and be beneficial to your projects? What is it that I can do for you? And I guess I just thought about it now, but that's probably the sixth point. So let's take it to 6 points. I definitely think that you need to go out and put yourself out there, help people, whether it's emceeing, gigging, helping out with their projects, being on set on their projects, and in return they do it. It's a courtesy. They do it for you as well. So in particular, I'm going to make a massive shout out to Dance School. We've been working together for the past 5 years. Our affiliation, friendship has been incredible. There's times where I'd be like, I need dancers. I need performers that could help me out. I need someone to choreograph my music, and sometimes I pay, sometimes it is you help me out, and I'll help you out. So I do gigs for them as well, and it's just been amazing. If you have that kind of connection and that kind of exchange and courtesy, work ethic, it works. It genuinely works. And also, if I do get people on board my projects, I make sure that everything is covered, like their travel, the food, the catering, all that stuff. And I think it's very important to look after your crew as well.
Yeah.
I think one of the most important things when you've got a crew on board is to make sure they're looked after, to make sure they're, like I said to you, with organisation as well as like catering, travel, and all those parts of it as well.
Yeah, that's great. Tell us about your latest TV experience.
My latest TV experience on All Together Now. Wow. Okay, so the crazy thing is 2 years ago I got really ill. It was a critical condition where I didn't know whether I was going to come back into the music industry, and a lot of people said to me, "Oh, you've gone silent. You're not releasing any music," because like with Humanity, we were featured on Kiss FM and on TV, and it was just like everything was booming, and I got nominated for the Australian Independent Artist of the Year at the Music Oz Awards, which was
awesome.
A milestone for me. But then it just we went up, and then bang, I just crashed, and health-wise, I was in a real bad state. And then I thought to myself after a year, I'm like, how can I just give up on music? How can I just give up on my dreams? And like, this is life to me. And I mean, gradually I got better in terms of health, but mentality-wise, I was really down and out. And I thought to myself, there was this advertisement that came out and for a brand new TV show called All Together Now, The 100. And there were certain people that I got in contact with that said to me, "You would be great on the show because it's all about entertaining, and you've always been an entertainer." So I thought to myself, maybe I should just give it a crack and see what. There's nothing to lose. And a lot of people did doubt me, or they said to me, "Oh, but you've built yourself up, and how can you just go on a TV show and a competition?" But it wasn't even about that. It was a new start for me. It was like I just needed a fresh start. I just needed to strip away all these feelings that I was having and everything that I've gone through, and the history, and hence why I went back to my roots and went back to my name, Niramsin. This was all part of the journey. So I went on the TV show, and prior to that, they don't show you the rounds leading up like in previous shows. They'll probably show you the rounds leading up. But everything went really well, and the producers grew fond of me, and we workshopped the songs, and it was an amazing experience. And I got to work with Gary Pinto from CBD, and a couple of other music experts, and the production team, and it was just, they genuinely really cared and loved you. Great. And I could only say great things about the show. And then I made it into the top 70, and they broke us up into 7 heats. So in my heat, I came fourth, which probably would have placed me in the probably top 28 in the country in terms of my scores, because the whole point of the show was how many people can you get up and off their feet and dance and sing along to you. That's why it's called All Together Now. And the best thing about it was like Ronan Keating got up and said some amazing things, and I was just like, wow, yeah. So and that to me just proved that I'm meant to continue on with the music. I'm meant to do what I'm doing. And that was part of the journey. So the people that were telling me, because, I mean, you're always going to get negative people around you, and negative people telling you, "Oh, you should have done this," or "You should have sang this song." It is what it is. But the main thing I can get from that is that I had, like, majority of people up on their feet. I had amazing feedback from international superstars like Ronan Keating. Like, there were other people on the panel that stood up, like Diana Taurasi. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, that's Anderson De Silva, like people who I've grown up watching on TV shows and grown up watching releasing music stand up for me, which is, like I said, it just made it obvious to me that I'm meant to be doing this. I'm meant to continue on.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I would have
my
stood
journey.
up for you.
You're the best. Thanks, Tina.
Actually, I am auditioned for the show as well, for the 100.
Okay.
And they sent me back an email to say that that I would be a stand, like if somebody gets sick. So if somebody
Oh
got
wow.
sick, I'd be put on there, but nobody got sick. So
Well,
unfortunately.
thank you. Well, thank you for the thought. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So this is kind of like a quirky kind of question. This is what I ask some of my guests. What are you obsessed about at the moment?
I'm obsessed about. This is gonna sound crazy, but I'm obsessed about Game of Thrones.
Ah, I've never watched it. I started watching it, and then I haven't really gone back to watching it. But yeah,
I'll tell you why. Because I'm a set designer, right? And the
yes.
sets and the fantasy world and the characters and it's just amazing, and the plots and all that. So for me, like that whole fantasy world genre is something that I love. But the fact that I've really connected with some of the characters and I'm just like, wow, she's so powerful or he's so courageous or, or that person's so annoying. Like I've just become obsessed with it and I'm like, I can't wait for the new season to come out. And I don't watch any TV. Yeah, I don't watch TV. I don't watch any shows or anything like that. Like people at work would always be talking about, oh, this show or that show. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. But for some reason, Game of Thrones, I'm like, I know every character, I know every scene, I know like every, and I even watch how they made that scene. So the making of certain scenes. And it's just incredible. Like I can't wait for the next season to come out. It's crazy.
Awesome.
I watch them, I binge watch them, and then I watch them over again. And then me and my sister are collecting like figurines, all different figurines.
Really?
From them. It's crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy.
I have a friend who's in Canada and she was asked to make jewelry for the Game of Thrones. So hopefully, yeah. So she.
I went. Wow.
Yeah.
I went to Dubrovnik, right? And Dubrovnik had the actual throne, the Iron Throne. So I got to sit on it and take photos with it. It was crazy. And I was just obsessed because they were showing us this is where they shot this scene. This is where. So I actually went to the actual sets of Game of Thrones in Dubrovnik, Croatia. That's one of the main locations. Yeah. Okay. That's one of the main locations that they shoot Game of Thrones. But they shoot places in Spain, in Scotland, and Ireland as well. So it's crazy. But I'm just. Yeah,
obsessed.
Pretty obsessed about Game of Thrones. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to look out for that.
Yeah.
So, what's one song that changed your life?
One song that changed my life. This one, it's an easy one because I guess with my music, you always when people like describe my music, it's always uplifting, feel good. It's boppy and. When I was growing up, I always connected with James Brown. I Feel Good.
Oh yeah.
And it's just that like it changed my life because it's just like whenever I hear that song, it's my go-to song, right? So like whenever I'm down, it's like I feel good. I knew that I would now. It just makes me come to life. It makes me, and it's a passionate song, so it really. It's really changed my life.
Yeah.
I love it just because it's just that type of song, that go-to song. Every time I'm down, I'm like, no, you got to feel good. You got to do this. You got to get back on. You got to dance. Watch me dance. Come on. So, yeah, I know. I mean, some people would go to like serious songs, and I like "Heal the World" by Michael Jackson, and I do like Michael Jackson songs. His songs inspire me always.
Yeah.
But I think it's that "I Feel Good" song is because it's just a reminder to you're alive, you're breathing, you've got. I've had like a grateful upbringing. I mean, I've been blessed with my upbringing. I'm very grateful for everything I have. So. There's no reason why I shouldn't be feeling good.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that song too. So I offer this question to all my guests. The name of this podcast is called One Voice Can Change the World. If I offer that to you, what does that mean to you?
Wow, one voice can change the world. I believe that it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, your upbringing, your ethnicity, your beliefs. You can make a difference as well. And it's so powerful because one voice means that even if it's a kid, even if it's an elder person, even if it's someone who's gone through hardships, it doesn't matter who you are, you can make a difference as well. You can inspire someone else as well. You don't have to be the superstar. You don't have to have millions of followers. But one voice, doesn't matter who it comes from, can change someone's life, can make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great, Ramos. So tell us how people can find you, what, your social media, how can people find you and get in touch with you?
Sure. So like I said, I've rebranded now, and I'm going back to my roots. Niramsin is my birth name.
That's a beautiful name, by the way. Niramsin. Yeah, it's lovely.
Thank you so much. Well, someone said to me, they're like, Ramos is pretty cool. And Ramos I coined when I was in Brazil because all my friends couldn't say Niramsin or Ramsin. That's an abbreviation of Niramsin. So they're like, why don't you just say Ramos? It's a lot easier for us to pronounce. I'm like, okay. So I literally just went with the flow. But you can find me on social media, on Twitter and on Instagram as I am Niramsin, and on Facebook and YouTube as just Niramsin.
Oh, I love that. I am Niramsin.
Yeah. I am Niramsin, yeah. So
how do you... Sorry, how do you spell it?
Spelling is N for Nelly, I-R-A, M for Mary, S-I, and N for Nelly at the end.
Oh, that's lovely. Lovely. Thank you so much for being part of the show. And I know I've kind of caught you on set, but I'm so glad
this is awesome. We're still getting ready, and we're about to shoot one of the scenes for the short film that I'm working on. So it's fine. It's cool.
So are you in? Where are you in Parramatta? PJ Gallagher's.
Correct.
Right?
Yes. We're shooting here at the moment. We've got a full day. Yeah.
Cool. Show me around. I mean, not show me around, but just like.
No, it's okay. Let's take a bit of a take a tour.
All right. Cool.
Well, we're just setting up. The crew guys are just setting up now. Got a couple of lights. We got hair and makeup, I think, around the corner.
You got the bar there.
We do have the bar there, hair and makeup at the moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's been a good past couple of days as well. Everyone seems to be on the ball with everything, which is great. It's great to have like a professional production team, and everyone really just excited about the shoot. So
yeah, exciting. That's so exciting. And what have you got plans for the near future or for this year that we can jump on board and follow how it's all going?
Yeah. Totally. So there's a collaboration in the making at the moment with someone from America. So he's actually a Grammy nominee. Considered for a Grammy nomination. Yeah. And I'm really excited about that because he's a rapper. He's from Philadelphia and he's really making a lot of noise. Wycliffe brought him up on stage and said that he's like really raved on about him. So that's definitely in the making. Shooting more music videos for my projects. I'm working on a feature film as well. I can't really reveal too much about it, but it's going to be amazing. It's we're working with an Australian production team, but we're collaborating with an international A-list celebrity as well, which is going to be really exciting. And I guess maybe the prospect of another TV show, but still waiting to see how it all unfolds. But it's going to be a crazy year. And thank you for supporting, Tina. You're like, honestly, I can't thank you enough. You're amazing. And also what you do for the kids as well. I follow you and I see how you make an impact. So I wish you all the best as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You're wonderful, and all the best with all your projects. And I'm sure the thing that comes up and the thing that you gravitate to this year, I'm sure that's the best decision that you would make and is right at the time. So, it all will fall into place.
Thanks, Tina. I appreciate it.
And there you go, guys. Thank you for hanging around, and I'm so glad that you were able to listen to Niramsin's story. And if you want to connect with him, all the links will be in the show notes. I'm sure that he would love to hear back from you and connect with you. So I wanted to give a big shout out as well to InvoCare, which is one of our sponsors for this podcast as well. InvoCare, Innovation Vocation Care. It's pre-planning memorials makes perfect sense. So the emotional benefits are protecting your family from unnecessary stress. You make your own decisions accordingly, made ahead of time, and comfort and peace of mind. So if you want to get in contact with InvoCare, contact Meredith Lakian on meredith.lakian@invocare.com.au, and she'll be able to help you out. So thank you so much once again for listening to the podcast. If you love the show, please review the show and give as many stars as you can on Apple Podcasts. It'll be wonderful to hear from you. And all the best. And we'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.